Welcome back, people. The time is now. It's here. We're finally moving big hurdles. I mean, huge hurdles. Finally got a second set of hands. All the way from Portland, Oregon. SABAT. He's back. He's back. He's helping me big time getting the tooling done so that we can make these parts. We can't make the parts until all the tooling's done. We can't paint the parts until the parts are made and the tooling needs to be done first. I mean, no matter how you splice it, the tooling needs to get done first.
You're not trying to show this right now?
You're right. I'm not trying to show because technically we already did.
You should be focusing on this.
We'll go ahead in this way. We're gonna take this pile of materials. Let's call it what it is.
They're pallet racks.
No, garbage. It's garbage. We're gonna take this garbage.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff. It's metal. It comes in shapes.
Somebody already made it pretty square.
Yeah,
So
it's mostly there.
make the table out of it.
Right. We're gonna make the table out of this stuff. What is that? Yeah, does that mean something?
Is it backwards? Is that
What are you doing?
No, I'm doing it
Are you
backwards.
trying to
again.
make a bird? Shadow puppets for spiders? I don't see it. I'm not seeing it, but I don't know what to tell you. If you recall, a couple episodes ago, I said that my bandsaw needed a little fixing up, a little truing. I'm doing that today because we are about to cut a bunch of stuff for the plasma cutting table. That's all being laid out, and I don't want to be making my cuts all. Gotta fix the bandsaw first. I definitely should be wearing gloves for this. This is what I'm talking about. This is like a little catch for all the look at all that stuff. Whoa. Some good treasures in here, honestly. Like, look at these perfectly cut, like heavy metal little circles. Just nice and clean cut. I'm gonna save these. It has the feeling of sand, like hard packed sand, but it's not sand at all. It's nasty sharp metal. I feel it like falling into my shoes and getting into my socks. It's not good. I'd say be careful if you're cleaning up something like this with some air because it's blowing these nasty pieces of metal up and hitting my face. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I don't suggest doing it that way. Don't eat off this thing, but it's cleaned up a little bit. My concern is these areas. I think these bearings, they're not like square anymore. They're like to the point where they're sort of like skewed, specifically the bottom ones. It's really, really close to the wheel. This wheel is like forcing that band to like go back, circular pattern from up to down, and then the bearings sort of like pop it straight to the work. And that constant tweaking the band is putting pressure on these bearings, and I think they're worn. These are the basic maintenance needs that you gotta do when you're getting something done, and I'm doing it. On the inside, we got SABAT. We're kind of like on an alignment step right now. This is sort of an alignment step, making sure the rails are straight so this thing could glide back and forth. We're sort of like setting those up just to see how we're gonna set it up. I don't know. This is like a measure twice, cut once sort of thing. We're just sort of like planning it out. Get your back running soon, buddy. We need
You
you.
got a speed square?
Is it like a triangle?
Yep.
Yeah, I got that somewhere. I don't know if you find this interesting, but I do have some cool machinist tools that I've collected over the years.
How am I supposed to make these work? They're not punches.
They're not punches, but they work pretty good. That's why I'm saying use a lead hammer. You pick the sharp side, use a lead hammer. I mean, it's close. It's a gauge more than a transfer hole punch, but this is what I got. I have a whole kit. This is a drill index. I call it transfer hole punch, and it's just a huge collection of all the sizes you would need. They do have a point on them. So what I do to drill a hole just in the right spot, if you're going like in the center of a hole like we are right now, that's exactly in the center of that hole because it's the same size as the hole. And because we have that little tip in there we go. And we're gonna get a little hole in there. I think I see it. We get a nice little indication. It's gonna give us the exact right spot where we're gonna drill our hole. Drill a hole and tap so we could actually bolt that rail in place. All good. I didn't need to change the bearings on this thing. That was overkill. It just needed to be adjusted. I don't think I've cleaned this bandsaw in like a year, maybe 2 years. It was overdue. But now it's cutting beautiful, it's cutting straight, and that's all it needs to do. The bar is set. The rack has been attached to our framing piece. It's gotta be precisionally attached. This is very consistent from one side to the other. Very consistent. Throw it out. I've gone ahead and continued working on the bandsaw. It's because I just want this thing to like work really well. Here's some things I did. I improved this little section, just the right hardware. There was some like button head hardware on here before, and if I was making a cut on something, it would hit the button head and it just didn't make any sense. Improved this stop. Got a little D-washer in there, so this is just nice and firm. This little item, sort of like a little homemade specialty tool. Everything on here, everything you need to do stuff on this thing. I don't want to lose it, so, you know, put a leash on it. This is the little clamp for the bandsaw. It has a wheel on here traditionally. I'm making an improvement on that. I've already started the improvement. I wasn't sure how far I was gonna go with it, so I didn't really videotape it at first, but I'm actually happy with how it looks. I need to do a couple more operations. Let me show you here. This used to have, if you look in the little hole here, used to have a little speed handle so that I could quickly, it's been missing, and I've really missed having that feature, because just turning it like this, just to give you a visual, it looks something like that. I started making this beautiful. Oh, I copied this. I was like, I want this, do that on the lathe. I like what's going on here, but I made a boo-boo. Here's my problem. The shaft area is too big. I didn't cut this down enough to properly thread this. This needs to be threaded with a die. The die won't catch, it's too big. It's gotta go back in, and we gotta take this down a little bit. Present to you, what was I calling it? Speed? A speed handle? This is taking place at the beginning of the coronavirus scare. We're being precautious, and we're trying to get supplies. You've seen on the news, everything's sold out, water bottles and toilet paper and such. We just need groceries anyway.
You want a card?
Yes, I do want a card. Make sure you wipe that down. Wait, you bring supplies? We're getting funny looks because we're wearing masks, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe everyone should be wearing masks. Let's start with the wine section. Well, that's the water section. 2 per guest. Well, there's none left, so we're just gonna have to get a couple of these things.
People are like walking into each other because I'm in the room.
They're like staring you down and
yeah.
Oh, slim pickings on the sauces. This is the easy stuff, right? Pasta too, that is like really slim pickings. I mean, it looks like there's things left, but not really. I mean, it's like lasagnas and the little elbows. Well, I mean, nobody wants those. And the bread aisle has been ravaged. All that's left is like gluten-free stuff. Gross. This is like the B team time for food. The strange flavors are left behind, and even they're almost sold out. All that's left is like banana flavored bread and cinnamon rolls. Nobody wants that. An entire aisle, completely empty. Not a roll of paper towels in sight. Yikes. Nothing. So I have a theory, because everyone comes to the store and they're gonna buy food items that they prefer. You know, some people like pasta, some people like rice. Everybody needs toilet paper. I think it makes sense that there's sold out of this. We all make messes, and you need to clean that stuff up. So not everyone likes pasta, not everyone likes rice or certain fruits or vegetables. There's plenty of that stuff, but paper stuff, yeah, that's universal. Stay tuned for this two-parter. There was so much footage, I had to split it up. Wanted to put it all in there, there was just too much going on. So split up in 2 episodes. Tune in next week for the second half. I'm so proud of the YouTube channel. Over 7,000 subscribers so far. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking us out over and over again. Over 100,000 views. Our Onyx video just broke the 100,000 mark. Slowly just burning, people are watching, and I can't believe it. Other videos too, like our Buy Bikes versus Tomos video, that got over 10,000 views. The American Mopeds video got 12,000 views. This is great. This is great. This is exactly what we want to see. I really rely on the YouTube channel now to help get the Moto name out, to spread the word. The Moto is in production, and we're trying to get something done. It's done all through the YouTube channel. So thank you for liking and commenting, subscribing and sharing, and just helping us get the good word out. On a personal side note, I don't mean to make fun or take lightly the seriousness of the whole coronavirus. We shot that footage just before I got kind of serious here, and stay home, you know, be safe, you know, let's flatten the curve. We're also playing it safe. I'm coming into the shop solo right now. We'll have SABAT back here when the seriousness is over, but for now it's just me. That's the way it has to be. This is Pete from Second Stroke Mopeds saying, don't forget about mopeds. We will see you next week. Episode 2 coming.